In the land where honor is greater than gold, where the son listens to the whispers of the elders and the ancestors watch over the children, there lived a girl named Mirabel. A girl who had everything except wisdom to control her desires. Mirabel was the only child of Mr. and Mrs. Johnson, a wealthy and respected couple in the heart of the city. Mr. Johnson was a well-known land merchant. His name opened doors. Mrs. Johnson was a retired nurse, known for her kindness and deep Christian faith. Mirabel grew up in abundance. Her room looked like a royal suite. Her wardrobe was filled with clothes imported from abroad. She had the latest phones and even a private driver when she turned 16. More than riches, she had a kind heart at first. She was tall, graceful, and her skin glowed like the night sky. Elders would look at her and say, "This one will be great." Her beauty is not just skin deep, but beauty, when not governed by wisdom, becomes a weapon against the soul. When she turned 18, Mr. Johnson decided it was time for her to become independent. He enrolled her in one of the best boarding schools in the region. At first, she tried to adjust, but then she met two girls, Sarah and Linda. Sarah and Linda were no ordinary students. Their fathers, Mr. Okoro and Mr. Tunde, were billionaires known in the city for their cutthroat business deals and luxurious lifestyles. These men were feared even by other rich men. They had everything except peace. Mirabel became close friends with their daughters, who lived like princesses and followed no rules. They convinced her that life was meant to be enjoyed, not regulated. Classes became optional. Nights were spent sneaking out, partying with older men, and returning to school just before morning. Sometimes they would disappear for days, sleeping over at their male friends' apartments. The headmistress warned Mr. Johnson several times, "Sir, your daughter is falling into bad company." But each time her parents confronted her, Mirabel had clever excuses. "Daddy, I was sick. Mommy, it's just school stress. Nothing serious, I promise." One day, Mr. and Mrs. Johnson made a surprise visit to the school. They spoke to the headmistress, who opened up everything. With heavy hearts, they waited for Mirabel to return from her usual evening out. When she arrived, they confronted her. "Sweetheart," Mr. Johnson said, "we met your friend's parents before. They are powerful men, but their hands are dirty. You must stay away from Sarah and Linda." Mirabel frowned. "But Daddy, they are not their fathers, they are my friends." Mrs. Johnson added gently, "My daughter, listen to us. We see beyond what you see now. Their parents have ruined many lives. If you follow their daughters blindly, you may find yourself lost." But Mirabel, like many young people, thought she knew better. "They make me happy, that's all that matters." Mr. Johnson's face turned red with anger. "Mirabel, I said enough. You will cut ties with those girls. That is my final word." Begrudgingly, she nodded. "I have heard you, Daddy. I will stop everything." As they left, the air was heavy with tension. But no sooner had their SUV disappeared than Mirabel picked up her phone. "Linda, can you imagine? My parents came and started acting like I'm a child." Linda laughed. "They don't understand this generation. Are you still coming for the party?" "Of course, 7 p.m. sharp." That night was magical, at least that's what it seemed. The party was at the mansion of Kofi's uncle, a famous businessman known across the West Coast. Food overflowed, music thundered, and the guests were men of status: tycoons, politicians, oil magnates. Mirabel danced, laughed, drank. For a while, she forgot all the warnings and embraced the night. She met Kofi again, a quiet, charming young man who had always looked at her with admiration. They became close. Over the next few weeks, Kofi and Mirabel started meeting in secret. Unlike the billionaires, Kofi was poor, an apprentice mechanic whose uncle paid for his school fees. But he had something Mirabel didn't find in other boys: genuine affection. Then came the fever. Mirabel thought it was just malaria. But a month passed and her monthly period didn't return. Another month passed. Panic set in. A test confirmed it. She was pregnant. Her world crashed. The first person she called was Linda. "What? How could you let this happen?" Linda hissed. "What should I do?" Mirabel sobbed. "Either end it or face it alone. Don't call me again." Sarah didn't pick up. Mirabel was alone. She went to Kofi. He was stunned. "I don't even earn $1,500 a day," he whispered. "My uncle will kill me." Still, he promised to stay. But the news soon reached her parents. Mr. Johnson was furious. "After everything we gave you, You threw it all away for a mechanic? Kofi was arrested but later released when he signed a legal document promising to take responsibility. He tried, but life grew harder. His uncle rejected him. His business dwindled. Mirabel had to beg her mother for food and money secretly, for her father had shut the door. Months passed. Her belly grew. On a cold Tuesday morning, she gave birth to a baby boy. But the hospital refused to discharge her. The bill was over $250,000. Kofi begged his uncle. He refused. Days passed. Then one night, Kofi left and never returned. His phone line went dead. Mirabel was alone with a newborn in her arms. Mr. Johnson's face turned pale when he heard. He left her? Yes, Mrs. Johnson said, tears in her eyes. They went to the hospital and paid the bills. When they brought her home, Mirabel fell on her knees. Mommy, Daddy, I am sorry. Tears streamed down her cheeks. Mrs. Johnson lifted her up. You are our daughter. You've suffered enough. Mr. Johnson said nothing for a long time. Then he walked toward her, placed a hand on her head and whispered, You have learned your lesson, but this is not the end. Though her dream of becoming a doctor was shattered, her parents promised to send her back to school once the child was older. She began again with nothing but her baby, her lessons, and her determination. And so, children of the land, remember this tale. A woman may have beauty, she may have riches, but without wisdom and self-control, everything can be lost in the blink of an eye. Listen to your elders, choose your friends wisely, and above all, do not trade your destiny for a moment of pleasure. Because Mirabel had everything, but it took losing it all to understand what truly matters. Thank you for watching this powerful tale on Nation's Folktale, where every story holds the wisdom of our ancestors and the heartbeat of our people. We promise to continue bringing you stories that inspire, teach, and preserve the soul of African tradition. One voice, one lesson, one legacy at a time. If this story moved you, don't forget to like the video to support our work. Subscribe to join our growing family of wisdom seekers, and share this story to keep our culture alive for generations to come. Until next time, stay wise, stay grounded, and remember the ancestors are always watching.